Let's talk about this next one,
Yeah,
S&M.
let's
Keep that
keep that
same
same
energy for
energy.
these
I'm
men.
telling you the same
Keep
thing.
that same energy when we talk about these men who also advocate their responsibility, because I'm going to keep this same fucking energy.
Yes, I was gonna
Yes.
say you keep the same energy for the men as well who have decided to be childless over the age of 40. So the next story is so there's a clip where this woman was basically saying that men over 40, they're flexing like it's the 90s because they're single and childless. So we just talked about women being childless as in some cases, such as Nick, selfish, and other cases, consideration and respect. But anyways, so what do you guys think about men? Are men looked at differently and why? And as a matter of fact, not only and why, but why should we look at them differently? Because it takes two to tango.
Okay, I'll go before I just, since we keep it right here, right?
Yeah, keep this energy,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm gonna the same. So, can you ask the question one more time so I can make sure I answer your question exactly?
Okay, so the question on the floor is, are men looked at differently and why? And why should they be looked at differently if it takes two to tango?
Yes, men are looked at differently. Why are they looked at differently? Because men and women are different, right? It goes back to organs, science, biology, right? I'm trying to be quick. What was the other part? Like,
And then I said, "But why should they be looked at differently if it takes two to tango?"
but
So in
why
order for
should
the
they be
woman
looked at differently? Because they're different. Y'all got
but it
two
takes two
X
to tango.
chromosomes. I got X. I don't understand, because we both are involved in an act, why we should be looked at the same. Do we share a responsibility? Do we share some consideration, right? To your word, right? But it's
Yes.
not the same. We're not going to be the same, right? So if I'm asking your question, the answer to me is simple, because y'all are women and we are men. That's why we're not going to look at it the same, right? We have the ability to continue to procreate farther than y'all do. True or false?
Yeah,
True.
which is why it should be
So
mostly
a
your
man at
responsibility.
45 still has the opportunity to impregnate a woman, and maybe a woman at 45 does not have the same opportunity to be able to have a child. Are those the same? No. Science is not the same. So I don't understand why we would look at it the same. Y'all have biological clocks.
Men do too.
Is that come on, man. Is that
It's just not
associating
talked
with
about.
men in the same way is what I'm trying to say? Is that a social construct where y'all who want to try to Black Lives Matter every fucking thing? No, I'm saying biologically, y'all bleed every 28 days. We don't. You want more explanation, or I'll let the other
So I
female
wanna go
get
ahead and
in
clear some
there.
things up for you, sir. So you guys have biological clocks as well. As a matter of fact, it's also been proven that the older the guy is, the more defects the child may have growing up or the baby may
Can he
have.
still have the child?
And so
Defect
that's
at
if
all.
he has a
Defect
woman
at
there.
all.
But the point is that so is he contributing to the rise of humanity when you just got done saying that certain people shouldn't procreate. So these old ass men that's 70, 80, should they be procreating? Because they're
Yes,
coming with
yes. There's science
defective
to check if
children.
there's science to help them weed out through the good sperm. Next
There's
question.
signs to help
Yeah,
them
you
to
try
weed out the good sperm.
that is
I'm
such a
saying that
pigeonhole.
and
Come on, man.
not only that, so not only do the sperm decline, but men biological clock also is ticking. So women actually can have kids, at least one. I don't know how she did it and why she did it at 66, by the way, now. Even though she had to get a like basically of
Come
somebody
on,
younger
man.
than her
Come
to
on,
agree
man.
with it.
We,
Those
we
are
gotta go
rare
to
cases.
outliers to make these. We
I'm
gotta
just
go
saying the
there to
point
make these
is it's
points.
still there. So I just want to acknowledge that men have biological clock.
You're not doing
Men's
yourself a
sperm,
service.
it causes defects. The older they get, they have also, as a matter of fact, men in
Can
general,
they
based on
still
their
produce
diet
sperm?
and their exercise, can also contribute to how the baby reacts as
Can they
well.
produce sperm?
Oh
Still.
my goodness. I already said
Okay,
they can
come on,
produce sperm.
man. Come on, man. You do
You
yourself a
nut.
disservice. It's not even an argument worth having. Go ahead,
Whatever.
man.
So
Go
it's
ahead.
okay,
I
so
mean,
it's flex. Go ahead. Sorry, Delvin.
I mean, you were making it worse the more you talk.
Whatever.
Listen,
Y'all just can't
look.
own up to
We
shit.
have biological clocks. Yes, nobody is denying that. Here's the question for you: are the clocks running at the same speed? That's a yes or no
I
question.
said no. I shook my head.
Okay. Then we're done.
Like I
That's
said, this is some
yeah.
bullshit. I'm calling BS on all of this.
That
Because
your
if you're
bullshit.
saying it's
You have to
It's
take
if
it up
it's the
with the
woman,
Lord.
if
it's
it's
natural
what I'm
selection.
saying is if the man if it's the woman's
Your
responsibility
beef
to
is with
serve humanity.
evolutionary biology.
No, what I'm saying is if the responsibility for humanity is put on the woman, well, the man control the seed. So why is the responsibility to procreate put on the man as well?
How
because
we talk about the responsibility to procreate here?
Well,
Right?
you
We're
the one
talking
who
about
said
men.
that it
somebody
was the
brought
woman's
in the responsibility
responsibility
to humanity
procreate.
for a
You know,
previous
Yes,
exactly.
life.
You
That's
the
how
one
we
who
got here.
said the humanity,
the
the
woman,
wife
yeah,
and the man responsibility to the same to humanity. Ultimately,
because he doesn't have a womb.
his responsibility, because he has the seed, also known as the key to impregnate the womb,
Yeah, but you don't
should
put
be
the seed
sufficient.
everywhere.
Let me ask you a question.
You don't drop your
You
seed
said they
everywhere.
put their seed
if you have
everywhere.
land that has fertile soil, right, and it's your job to grow food to provide, let's say, for
There
a
you go.
village or whatever, who has the responsibility to plant and to till and to to till? Like, is it the seed salesman? Hey, you guys want some seed?
Oh,
No,
wow. So
it's the
you're saying
person
this
who owns
you
the land
disregard the
upon
seed.
which the
Okay.
garden can grow from.
Okay,
Like,
Johnny.
I don't understand.
Okay, Johnny Appleseed ass. I see you. I see you. So basically what you're saying is that the men, as long as they can basically shoot out seed, all is well, but that doesn't
No,
mean that
see,
it's their responsibility.
no, I'm gonna pass it to
Uh,
Jay. Go ahead, Jay, because I think you're
okay,
listening with your emotional ears right now,
My
so you can't
emotional
hear what
ears.
I'm
I thought I was
saying.
hearing
But
a
go
woman
ahead,
niece.
Jay.
I want to put it in terms
I
of
heard you.
science. Okay, let's say natural selection. All right, we all know, and I could give an earlier shout to the earlier story, like the Jaden Daniels. We all know that men are preyed upon because once a woman gets a man's seed, she's got not only his child, she now has his bank account, and she has his earnings for a good perceivable part of his future. So if a man's made it to 40 and been able to dodge like the Matrix, all of these shots coming at him, right, and he's still able to shoot and perform at what he needs to perform, then he has shown through like the natural selection that he is a survivor. Therefore, he should be puffing his chest out and beating his chest, as opposed to a woman if she's had like 8 kids and 4 different babies, daddies or whatever, and she's 40. It's a different look. Or if a woman who has no kids, right? I'm not hating on her. Everybody got choices. It's all different people. But if you're taking a position that a woman's special function in life and what makes her special and distinctive from men and pedestal worthy is her womb, and she chooses not to use that womb, right? Then it's not a flex if she's 40 and hasn't chosen to use the thing that was making her special, quote unquote, if that was a thing, right? That's why it's different.
Okay, so
Yes.
I understand what you're saying. So this is what I'm gonna say. So the woman is this womb, right? That's
Mhm.
our soul source. So I guess that's why
Nobody
we
said
now
so.
have
That's I didn't say
I
that.
guess
I didn't say that.
that's our whole soul, our sole
I
purpose
didn't
and
say that.
shit.
I
So I
didn't say
guess
that.
that's why they have so many laws now being put in place, which forces the woman to give birth. But y'all can populate the whole wide world because you just a seed dropper. So if you just a seed dropper, then go find the woman who want to drop seed, have that seed implanted in her ass, and be happy and move on. Stop trying to make it the responsibility of women who don't want children to have those children, is what I'm saying. Find the people that match your energy. If you want them to if you want to populate the world, find the woman who also wants to populate the world, and leave the women who are not willing to populate the world for whatever reason, or don't want to or can't populate the world, alone. That's what I'm saying. If that's the whole thing, then there wouldn't be laws that's currently in place to try to force women to give birth.